Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new video. Now, this is not like my usual type of content, but I'm trying to do something new on my channel besides doing WWE 2K videos while me commentating over it. So I decided to talk about the WWE Draft. More specifically, who should be, called up from NXT all the way up to either Monday Night Raw or Friday Night Smackdown. And I'm going to start off this with the people in the thumbnail. So first off, Pretty Deadly. So Pretty Deadly are a tag team in NXT, which right now, they pretty much did basically everything they can in NXT right now as a tag team. I don't feel like neither of them will be good as a single superstar, but it's what it is. But in my opinion, I feel like this year they should be called up to the main roster. They're really good in the ring and their gimmicks are actually pretty bearable. Usually with these kind of cocky gimmicks, they're kind of unbearable, but with Pretty Deadly, they can pull it off nicely. And also add to the fact that WWE management also want them to be called up to the main roster. And honestly, I don't blame them. They're Pretty Deadly are really, really good. And honestly, with the tag team division on the main roster not being as strong as NXT's, I feel like Pretty Deadly would be a great addition to the tag team division in WWE, whether that be Raw or SmackDown. And on NXT Spring Breaking coming up this Tuesday, this could potentially be their final match in NXT. They're taking on against Tony D'Angelo and his partner Channing Stacks Lorenzo in a trunk match. And I feel like this could be a decent send-off for them. Obviously, it could have been better, but honestly, I don't really mind it as much. That's why I think that Pretty Deadly should go up to the main roster in this year's WWE Draft. Up next in my draft NXT Superstars list, I have Roxanne Perez. Now, Roxanne Perez made her debut on NXT like 2 or 3 years ago, and so far she's been killing it in NXT. I really do feel like that she will be a good fit for the main roster's women's division, especially SmackDown, because the SmackDown women's division isn't all that good. Like, there's barely little to great women's matches over on SmackDown. Hopefully Rhea Ripley can change that up, given now she's women's champion, and hopefully for her match at Backlash against Zelina Vega, it's gonna be really good. But I feel like if Roxanne Perez gets called up to the main roster, I feel like she would have great feuds with more of the heels on the SmackDown Women's division, like Sonya Deville, Shotzi, or even one of the baby faces like Liv Morgan. And with her appearing at the 2023 Royal Rumble match, she proved that she can hang with the main roster Women's division. And there's a lot more of NXT's women's superstars that appeared on the Rumble match, but one of the standouts was Roxanne Perez, and it has proved that she is ready for the main roster. The only thing that doesn't really make her that ready, I think, is her finisher. It's not all that bad, but I wish it was something more creative than a sunset flip powerbomb. But that's just me though. And honestly, I feel like maybe after her match at this week's NXT Spring Breaking, maybe she could get called up to the main roster in this year's draft. And same with Pretty Deadly, the management are also interested in having Roxanne Perez on the main roster. Up next is Tyler Bate. And in my opinion, I feel like he's one of the more interesting out of the ones I've mentioned so far. He is really talented in the ring, and he's been in NXT UK and NXT for a while now. So I feel like he's more than ready for, the the main roster. And the reason I say he's the most interesting out of the other ones I'm gonna mention, well, the last one and the ones I previously mentioned, is because like I feel like he would really work best with the Brawling Brutes, or like I don't know, like a baby face, but not two baby face factions, like a twinner faction. And in my opinion, I feel like Tyler Bate is one of the few people who looks credible to beat Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. And I wouldn't mind seeing Tyler Bate win the IC title off of Gunther. And honestly, besides him and Ilya, there's not really that many left that are credible to beat Gunther besides Sheamus. And he can also have great non-title feuds with people like LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, people like that, you know, like the upper card main eventers, or like some of the top superstars, maybe people like Seth Rollins, or even some of like other call-ups to NXT, such as Ilya Dragunov. I feel like they will have really good feuds, especially under Triple H's WWE, which is more focused on the future side of things, but also focusing on, you know, the past, like the present. So yeah, I feel like Tyler Bate would really thrive under WWE's Triple H, really. And for the final person of this video, Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller just has it with the movesets, the character, the in-ring ability. He just has it all. He's kind of like The Miz, but like a bit more entertaining than The Miz. He's kind of like Miz 2.0. He's an arrogant, cocky heel. He has some Miz TV type stuff with the Grayson Waller effect. And in my opinion, Grayson Waller is more than enough ready for the main roster, in my opinion. And I really do hope he gets to shine in NXT, because he's really good. He's really good, and I hope that when he goes to the main roster, he is booked well. On to the fact that he can work with anybody in the ring and can make them look good while making himself look good. Like, Grayson Waller is like the guy. Like, he can have any match with almost anybody on the roster, and it would be a great match. The worst match you can really say that he's had in his career so far is probably someone against like Sanga or something like that, but the match wasn't even that bad. And although it didn't make Sanga look good, it was still a decent match. And honestly, Grayson Waller is just perfect. He's perfect for the main roster, and basically someone that, you know, the main roster needs right now, because we don't got that many like cocky, arrogant heels. We got Austin Theory, but that's pretty much it, along with The Miz. But The Miz is just there. He's not really that important on the main roster anymore like he used to be back in like 2011 or 2012 or even 2009. Like, Grayson Waller is the perfect fit for the main roster, and hopefully in this year's draft they pick him. And honestly, any brand that he gets drafted on, he will do great on it, especially Monday Night Raw, because Raw needs more of like, it needs more heels, and then it needs baby faces, in my opinion at least. And there's also other talent on NXT that are legit perfect for the main roster right now. People like Katana Chance, Andre Chase, the Creeds. They're all really good for the main roster, and in my opinion, they would thrive, especially under Triple H's WWE. And honestly, I cannot wait for the draft this coming Friday on SmackDown. Hopefully we see new faces for the main roster. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.